Back, and today we're going to be talking about the one tool that you need to get started in investing. It is the most robust tool that you need, whether you're a investing beginner or even if you're at a more advanced level. I think that this platform pretty much gives you everything you need to get started. Lots of help in terms of finding resources, whether it be educational, but also stock screeners, information on valuation, different valuation ratios, metrics. So it really gives you all the information and empowers you in order to be able to make your own investing decisions and take things to the next level. So let's get started by looking at this. Now, what I'm talking about, of course, is Seeking Alpha. Now, some of you may know that I've been a contributor on Seeking Alpha for a while, and I really took this for granted because as a contributor, you get to use Seeking Alpha's features for free. And at one point I stopped writing, which meant I lost access to the features. And that's when I really realized just how much I started to rely on these features and all the information that this platform gives you without even realizing, right? So if we go ahead, if we go ahead and go to seekingalpha.com, this is what you get, right? So this is the main page, and already we can see tons of stuff. Now we start off, for example, we have here the trending analysis and the trending news section. Now, in terms of the analysis, it is worth mentioning that if you go, for example, into any stock ticker, right? If I search a ticker over here or click a link to a ticker, I will immediately get access to all this analysis, right? Tons of articles by loads of different Seeking Alpha analysts, so again, loads of information there already. Now, a lot of people question, whether some analysts can be good or bad, but nonetheless, again, the information is there, lots of articles, whether they be bullish or bearish, which you can see here, right, the rating that the analyst has. And of course, one of my favorite things, of course, is always entering into an article and then looking, for example, at the comments to really start gauging where people stand on a certain stock. And you can definitely find some very interesting comments in these articles. Now, the other thing is, of course, Seeking Alpha, a great source for news as well. If we go, for example, to each ticker, we also have this section which shows us all the news relating to that stock. For example, here, Taiwan Semiconductors, we have everything that's been going on with that stock, right? Whether it be news, also SEC filings will appear on there, and that also appears over here, right? You can break it down here. We have analysis, we have different comments, we can filter through. Here we have the news, transcripts, so transcripts of different earnings calls, for example, the SEC filings. So again, really nice to be able to have different filings so easily available here, and also different press releases associated to that stock, right? So again, great way to get started, just learning about different stocks and seeing everything that surrounds them, staying up to date and getting good investment ideas, right? But Seeking Alpha can also do much more, right? Of course, one thing you can do is create your portfolio, for example, right? So the beauty of this is, I can add stocks to my portfolio, right? So for example, I search here, I add Google, and the beauty of it is that I can actually, not only will it track the stock and I can set different alerts for the price, for example, but it'll also, and you can change the settings if you want on this, but it'll also send me different emails regarding, again, news, analysis. So all that will go straight into my inbox. So if anything relevant is happening on Google, for example, or any of my holdings, I'll get to know pretty quickly, right? Now, another great tool that Seeking Alpha has is, of course, the stock screener, right? We can see here, for example, the stock screener is here, right? So you can create a screen from scratch, right? You can select the different countries you want to include in that. You can, for example, decide the quant rating, right? This is actually a rating created by Seeking Alpha. So what kind of a quant rating do you want? So you could filter, for example, by strong buys or buys only. You can filter by the analyst rating on SA analyst rating here, or even by Wall Street ratings, right? So again, tons of different things that you can use in terms of filtering. And then of course you can filter by tons of different categories as well, right? For example, based on dividend, based on earnings, different metrics valuation like price earnings growth. This is a good one, for example, that I like to use. Okay, Obviously, no results came there because I think we were searching inside country like Yemen. But anyway, so you can do stuff like find, for example, top stocks. Okay, so this, for example, is a filter that has been set, is a screener set by Seeking Alpha, which looks at the top quant rated stocks. Again, the quant rating is elaborated by Seeking Alpha themselves. They then use this to provide different stock picks. So again, a very good service there. So you can already filter, for example, by different quant ratings. You can also look at these stocks through the valuation or growth ratings, for example, right? All these different metrics, right? Again, if we go into valuation, for example, I just said I really like to use price earnings growth, so I can filter stocks through the price earnings growth. So looking here, for example, at stocks with the lowest price earnings growth, for example, NLCP stands out. This is one that I actually talked about. New Lake Capital Partners, very interesting one. Of course, with every metric, you've got to watch out. Of course, you look at stocks with for example, a 0.02 PEG, well, there might be something going on there, right? But in any case, this is just all great information that you can find on tons of different stocks, right? And again, if you just go into the stock itself, you have all this information available, right? You have different valuation metrics. This is not a good example because it doesn't have many earnings, but if we go, for example, to Google, right, we can see here valuation, right? You have the PE, PEG, all the price to book, all the latest valuation. You have growth metrics, right? Revenue growth, EBITDA growth, EPS. You have the same for profitability. You can look at all the margins compared to the sector median. Look at the 5-year average. Okay, this is great. Again, great information. Also, in terms of earnings, you can look at the latest earnings, what the trends have been on the earnings. You can look at earnings estimates as well, what are analysts saying about the earnings. So all these are earnings forecasts. Again, a very great way to look, for example, at the expectations in the market and the expected growth for earnings and the forward PE, for example. And again, just a lot of information available here. You can also, for example, compare here Google with its peers. So it gives you a comparison in terms of how it's acted in terms of price, the comparison in terms of valuation. This is really good. For example, you can see the P ratio side by side, for example, the growth ratio of Meta versus Google. So again, it just really helps you get a big picture of everything that is out there, So, there's a lot more that you can do with Seeking Alpha. Again, it's really a matter of going in there and just finding what works for you, right? Again, the great thing as well is that you can follow different analysts that you like once you're in there, and each analyst writes about different stocks. Some of them also have investing groups, as is the case. In my case, I have an investing group where I also share my exclusive content on there, right? So it's just a matter of looking for different analysts that you like, and that can really help you as well. So I think that Seeking Alpha definitely is one of the best tools for investors getting started in the world of investing. I think it really gives you the necessary tools to kind of start just looking at valuations and making good and sound investing decisions. A great way of staying up to date with news. Like I said, you can start following different tickers. So like I said before, I'm following Google, or if I'm interested, for example, in CrowdStrike, I can go here and add this little bell so that I get notified of different things. I can set an alert here, for example, for the price, and I can also start following the stock, right? If I start following the stock or add it to a portfolio, then like I said, I'm going to be getting emails with all the relevant information, everything that's going on with CrowdStrike. So just a great way of staying up to date. This is another interesting feature here. Again, back to these kind of screeners that Seeking Alpha gives us. You can also, for example, look, for example, at the ranking overall for a stock within a sector or within its industry, right? So here, for example, in CrowdStrike, we can see that it's ranked 98 out of 558 stocks. Okay, so here, for example, we have top technology stocks right here, and we can see what the top rating are. Again, this is looking at what Seeking Alpha makes up this quant rating, right, which is based on a aggregate of the valuation, what Wall Street, what the analysts are saying. So again, very interesting way of getting ideas and looking at stocks that are doing very well or could begin to do very well in the future. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover really quickly. Just think that Seeking Alpha is a very useful tool for anyone looking, and if you are interested in going and starting with Seeking Alpha, you can do so. I'll leave you a link below, and you can actually do so now, have a free trial and enjoy a 20% discount if you do eventually sign up. So that's all I'm going to do for today, guys. This is the first of many live streams. I want to start doing some more live streams basically every day with market news, but I just did this one today as a bit of a test, just explaining a little bit about Seeking Alpha and what it is, because it will be something that you'll see me use a lot in the coming live streams. So with that said, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.